everybody. Thanks for watching. This is Block Party. I'm Mike Wahle. We are talking Packers Cardinals. The Packers just came back 27-23 to win in Arizona. Exciting game, quite frankly. We got Jacoby Brissett to fill in for Kyler Murray, and he played one hell of a game. But the reality is, too much Josh Jacobs, too much Micah Parsons, too much Quay Walker. These guys played extremely well. We had some look, there's a litany of errors in every football game, and we'll go into all the tape here as we get into this. But Jordan Love, 19 for 29, 179, one touchdown, no picks, no turnovers, only gave up one sack on the offensive line, which was honestly to be expected. Jacobs had only 55 yards on the ground, but had two touchdowns again. Kind of a red flag here. His longest run of the day was only 10 yards. That's something we got to work on. Romeo Doubs looked fantastic all day, almost hit him for the fourth down play, which for those people out there who are complaining that we should have checked that down, that was 100 out of 100 times you take that shot. Wide ass open, great play call. Matt LaFleur gets a lot of heat from this group. He is a fantastic play caller. The way he designs plays to put people in positions to win is fantastic. Obviously, there's some plays, and I'll show them very specifically that you don't love given our personnel. We talked a little bit about that on Andy Herman's show today about how the play sheet is actually or the design for the opponent is put together by the entire staff. It's not Matt LaFleur sitting up at 5 a.m. going like, I think I should run this play. It's not how it works. And so sometimes all of these inputs coming in maybe don't match up with the reality of certain positions not being able to win their 1v1 matchups. But the big thing here is the Packers are not getting lucky. They're a good football team. They're the better football team here. They were favored by 6.5. Did the fourth down play at the end of the game for us help? Yes. Did them going for fourth down and not getting it make a big difference? We got to still make those plays. And I think that the reality is you're going to be first in the NFC, possibly first in the NFC, depending on the outcome of tonight's game. But you're in a great seat. You're winning and learning. We're going to hit a ton of tape right here, offense and defense. We'll come back after for a little recap. Look forward to Pittsburgh. And listen, we've talked about it on Andy's show. They do so much good and they have so much talent that if they don't score 40 points, it's almost like it almost feels like a disappointment. But this is one of the first early plays in the game, third down. I just thought this was really smart. And you go back, Jordan motions all these guys around. Then we've got a little movement in the backfield from Jacobs. But, really this is just he somehow knows that this guy's going. And so because of that, we got to cover. They got a flat player. And he just knows they're going to be able to sit down here. I mean, this is film study at its finest. Obviously, like a simple play, but just get you an insight into the mind of like how smart a quarterback is in the National Football League, man. He knows that confident player can only take the flat or the hookup. 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9 play here, and I love that they go under center because it just for me. They've had such a struggle in the gun with the silent count. This is I brought this up really because this is a super interesting look from the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, they got their box. This is whether they're a nickel or dime here, but they've got a player outside of tight end and Golden. They got their 3 tech. Now they have here, and you can. I mean, I guess you can tell that he's going around. He's going coming back this way, but effectively these guys have pushed to the side of the tight end. I don't know if they feel like they know he's going backside. Who knows what they're seeing here, but just kind of an interesting way to play this down. And the Packers are going that way, and you see that Jordan Morgan doesn't take a great step. He's in a bad spot here. We got a crossover with Elton Jenkins. And they just leave. And these are the kind of things as far as just talking ball and trying to. These looks happen a lot where we've kind of got we've got kind of hand placement, like place holding instead of moving. Obviously, you're not going to get a lot here with the guy going across your face, but then being on the wrong side of this, we do a good job play side here, but it's just not always clean. And you love that these scrums are becoming kind of popular in the National Football League, but get a couple extra yards. 3rd and 2, we motion back in. Still have a trips look. And these are the plays where you're just like, I hate this play. Of all the plays we have, I hate this the most. Now, Calais Campbell's going to move them over, so they move their defensive tackles over. And look, in an ideal world, this play is supposed to bounce. We're going all the way. We're going here, and usually the communication with the running back is you got to take 3 hard. I can't remember if it's 3 or 5 hard steps, depending on where the landmark is, and then you get your cut, right? Or you're going to keep it outside. But you've got this double team here. You kind of have a double here. This is a tough block, especially with Calais Campbell. But the center and right guard are going up to Mike Wilson Jr. And you just kind of see like Dalvin Tomlinson blows this play up. Calais Campbell's in the backfield. And these guys just can't, you look at, I think we're putting our guards in a difficult position because I just don't know that they're good at this stuff. And what I mean by that specifically is I've watched Aaron Banks for years. If you tell him to go downhill, he'll go downhill. But you're trying to, tell him to cut off this backside, and it's really like a zone play, and it's really, they need to be able to do it, but it's really hard. And if your footwork's not right, it's going to be even more difficult. And the thing with like Jordan Morgan, and he's a young player, but that's a terrible first step. And they're not getting a lot with this center. You're kind of on your own here. We're not even looking to hook that up. And maybe it's because Mac Wilson's maybe a little bit walked up, or maybe it's because we're back in that situation where your head's under, in between your legs and you're looking up and trying to find everything for the first time. Like all of it's difficult, but it just makes these plays look just not good. All right, so you check this play out. We got a 3rd down early in the game. Matthew Golden's here down the bottom. And I just wanted to highlight this throw, man. I mean, this is the defensive back is breaking on this ball right now. I mean, this is a pick, except you've got incredible arm talent. And this is just trusting your arm. That's a big time throw. God, that's a big time throw. Another one of these 3rd down plays. I think it's 3rd and 4. And we're going to crack, I think, with Tucker Kraft just off the screen here on Josh Sweat. Got Rasheed Walker pulling, Elton Jenkins pulling. So ideally you're pulling around and you're having to pull through. Obviously they're giving a couple of different looks here. You got a down block here. Got to get through here. And then we got to figure out who's going to block this. I'm sure this is Jenkins getting around. And then we got outside. So the big thing here is Josh Sweat's got to get blocked. And I can't show it on this look, but Tucker Kraft's got his inside foot back, so he's got to switch his feet all of a sudden. It's tough. You'd love Rasheed Walker if he could do this again. You'd love him to just keep going. But these are the plays where, again, you're offset. You're almost over the tackle at the running back position. You're backside, and they're doing this so they can get a little bit of depth. They're doing this very specifically because they don't want him to run and get caught by Calais Campbell, who gets backside of Morgan here. He doesn't want this to get penetration because he knows that's a tough block. So they're doing this. It makes sense. It's just this horizontal stuff just doesn't seem to be working the way that they want it to. This is that 4th and 5. And I wish we had a better screenshot of this, but so he's got the right play call. Everything looks good. Right here, what we were talking about earlier. Let me back it up a little bit. So this is the key. They really want to take advantage of the safety on the backside, and they're going to do that. Usually, they're going to bring this guy up and they want to cut him. They bring him back out, but they drag this guy in so we can go here and here, and they are wide ass open. And this is one of those fantastic play calls that they just don't hook up on. And you will take this look 100 out of 100 times. No matter where you are in the field, no matter what down and distance it is, if you say, hey, we're going to drag that backside safety. We're going to have leverage on our player, and we got all the field to run, and we've got Romeo Doubs, trying to get hooked up with Jordan Love in a one-on-one. I mean, this is a big-time throw, big-time opportunity. Just doesn't connect, and those happen, but those are great football plays. Well, we already know that they love to get Budda Baker around the line of scrimmage. We know that they like to bring safety pressure. We know they like to bring slot pressure. So they're going to bring safety pressure all the way from here with Budda, and they're going to come down here. They're going to bring this guy around. He gets kind of, they might be bringing Mike and safety here. But you look at the backside, everybody's going to shift away. And it's one cut downhill. And then look what Josh Jacobs does to Mack Wilson. Makes two guys miss. I mean, he's such a great football player. And these are the plays that have been really successful. It's not necessarily the stuff where we're going across the body. We're trying to get these guys to do a great job of stretching. It's these plays where he gets the ball immediately. Instead of going here, we can just go one down and make a cut and just go. This seems to be the most consistently effective way to run the football with this team. I got another under center look, two tight ends. They got 12 personnel in the game, so you get the base look from the Cardinals you think you're going to get. They run a little lead power play. Don't even have, and this is the kind of the difference in the way that you think about the power runs. We've seen a couple counters where Josh steps back and tries to hit like kind of the outside C gap. This one straight downhill into the A. Get the great double, and I want to highlight Rasheed Walker does such a fantastic job here. So we get a couple of things that we love, right? Not those. We got a great down block. Here, Rasheed Walker holds, you're the bumper. So you just want to hold this line. And you got this tight end coming in and pushing. You just want to push through this. He's going to go outside. We're going to pull and kick out. Oh, sorry, but the tight end. And because he holds this line, it creates that space in that A or B gap, whatever you want to call it. Mack Wilson runs himself out of the play, and we're just right through. This is such a fantastic job by Rasheed Walker. It's those little things that make the huge differences, right? If you can stay that bumper, keep your footwork, big time play. Under center, again, talked about it before, just love the idea. Under center play action pass. And, there's a lot of talk about, obviously the Arizona Cardinals are staying across. They got a bunch of guys deep. We got a three-man route here with a couple checkdowns. But we're going to get all the way here, and he has so much time. And we knew that they would have time. If you watch the tape of the Cardinals, out of this look, this personnel group, you're going to have time to throw the football. They're bringing 5. Ends up hooking up with Dobbs here. Just a great football play. 3rd and 6 here. We go gun. You got a quads look to the bottom. And this is tough. We've seen this a lot recently. Down here where you got the blocker and the outlet, and you're really just running. This is a check down, and you're really running a 2-man route with a clear and hoping that it's there. And I'll show you the end zone copy of this. This ends up being the lone sack of the game. A little crossover by Calais. Crossover, fadeaway. Pretty nice. Okay, so we'll watch Rasheed Walker here. He just struggles on this pass set. And we've talked about the whole snap count issue. But here, profile's great, and then opens his hands up and just takes 2 in the chest. From Collins, first-round draft pick a couple years ago. He's a first-round body. He's got first-round power. You'd love to see Aaron Banks right here just light his ass up. Right here, just light his ass up, because otherwise, you're taking it in the face because of the hands. But right here, man, just light his ass up. And we've seen him do it before, but this is one of those where, man, he's going to look back and then he's like, I should have taken a rib shot right there. Help your guys. Under center, tight end's in a position he can do anything. He goes backside, play action. Look at the cut by Tucker Kraft. Now, I got to be honest with you, I don't really like this. I mean, I like it, but I take it back. I love it. Who am I kidding? It's a great cut. Tell you what, that'll get the job done. "12 personnel. I'll show you the end zone here, but this is just all Josh Jacobs. I think the Cardinals screwed this up. So they're obviously playing this right now. They're playing this outside here. They want to keep inside leverage here just because where Josh Jacobs is lined up now. You see Mac Wilson's all the way over here. And I think when they shift over, they don't adjust. And really 56 is just in a bad spot. They don't have an edge anymore. So all we got to do is wipe down and bounce. And this is just, we kind of talking about this before. This is what Josh Jacobs can do for your football team. Like, realistically, you don't love this double team. And I don't know why we don't get more out of the double teams here. Like, it seems like this just really isn't the priority. Like, getting to that backer slow and just kind of being in your spots more the priority. But this is what Josh Jacobs can do. Like, it's even, and he's, even you're leaving, and just completely outruns this guy for a touchdown. 2nd and 4 play here. I'll show you this. This is just, again, this chalked it up to, I hate this goddamn play. And I just don't know that, Calais Campbell's a really, Calais Campbell's a really good football player, but I don't know that it's a smart move to ask at this stage of his career. And I know Sean Ryan's not playing for whatever reason, but this isn't what you're looking for. And you got this double on the backside of Tomlinson. You can see that they're evened up here. So someone's in trouble. Either Rasheed Walker's got a tough block here, or we got to get a great double. One way or another, we got to get a great double there. But it's all predicated on that play side guard winning. I don't know if that's the matchup you want. But you see, even on the backside with the center, we got the crossover, horizontal steps. Crossover, horizontal steps. Not really a first step from the, it's all, guys, it's all footwork. It's all footwork. And, you can kind of almost tell just by looking at body position here and body position here, like, we're just losing these reps. And it's just footwork. It's just footwork. These guys are capable, for sure. But I just do not like that play for this team. It takes one guy to make that first block. If you get that first block, safety comes down for the tight end. Zach Tom makes the block, and you're out. Tucker Kraft's a great athlete. And it's like, we've been struggling with the screen game last couple of weeks. Can't find that first block. So what do? You get your best lineman in there, get him involved with the tight end. All of a sudden, like, Zach Tom can and will make that play consistently. This is the play leading up to the play. So they're obviously trying to fake like they're going to do some sort of quarterback sneak. Move out from gun. They still keep Josh Jacobs offset. And obviously they bring the tight end over to the side, which is, odd. But they don't. It's not like the Cardinals have a lot of time to figure this out, right? Here's the thing that, becomes kind of an issue just because they're really in a 5-down look. And you got Josh Sweat outside here. And this is a matchup that you just don't like. And there's matchups in, like, everyone's got a job to do, and there's matchups in games you just don't like. But I just don't know if this is a look that I would promote. I just think that he's better at setting I think for me, he's better at setting the edge than our guy is at blocking at this stage. But they might know they're going to go for it on 4th. Cardinals do a good job of stringing it out. Put you in a situation where you can then go for it on 4th down, and we'll show that play. It's 4th and 2. They put their motion in. They're just trying to do some checks. They move Golden out. So now they just got a trips look. got the call in, got the look that they want. They're all going man. They've got a robber over there with Buddha. He chooses poorly. Not that he could have done anything about this, but there's no bracket or anything. Like, you're man on man. 43 just gets beat, gets pushed off right there. Not pushed off, shouldered off, right? Completely legal. Great throw and catch. Play the game. So we're in the same situation where they're running the play that I hate. And, for the same reasons, we get pushed up here at the line of scrimmage. Defensive tackle resets the line of scrimmage exactly like he's supposed to. We do a great job on the backside with Rasheed Walker collapsing down on inside leverage. But think about what the motion does here. Taking away that edge. 27 has to fly back in. Josh Jacobs somehow makes that play, makes it work, and leads to this play, which is just a phenomenal job. Little eye candy with Golden. Again, they reset the line of scrimmage, but Josh Jacobs just makes one hell of a run, ends up for his touchdown. Show up from this angle. I mean, this play just does not go well. But Rasheed Walker makes his play. We get beat here. We get beat here. But because we got that block and we've got this guy at running back, all's good. I mean, that's an incredible run. So defensively, we did so many good things with pressure. And Jacoby Brissett, just to his credit, just made some things happen. He's got some pressure here. Really has a decent pocket to get rid of the ball. Kind of a late push from Parsons. We're doing a good job covering everything up. And, with a lot of these kind of plays, he's looking to his right and over here on the left, even if he wanted to throw that flat pass, it's just not there. But you can just see there's nothing really open here by the time he wants to throw. But ends up making something happen. And that was kind of the name of the game. I mean, he just did a really good job for all the sacks and everything that we got. He got even like just a ridiculous amount of pressures and ended up having to come up and make plays here. So we go double mugs here at a gun. You love this look. And you just see Parsons. I put this on here. I mean, obviously, great throw and catch, but this is kind of what goes unnoticed, I think, sometimes is just telling you from the offensive line standpoint, just the fear of, you see the rookie 71, good player, but ducks his head. He's like, oh my God. And then the guard is like, this guard, his whole job in life in this play is to make sure this guy doesn't get through. And you're not used to the speed or the leverage athletically what he just brings to the table. Great throw and catch, though, honestly. I mean, that was a well-defended play by Evan Williams, and there's just a better throw and catch. All right, little 2x2 hipped off here with the tight end. We got 11 personnel. Got 6 men up. Rush 5. Evan Williams gets in on the play here. Just showing some good things. I mean, hard to see it from this angle or this screen. He's going to be coming off the left side or the right side here. And you just never really know what teams are doing and where they're sliding. You see Will Hernandez is got the inside of the right tackle, Jonah Williams. They got this guy, but he's, I think, usually with these tight ends, they're usually chipping out and looking for help. And you can see Adrian Cooper's there for it. And sometimes unfortunately, the situation like this, the quarterback is looking the other way. Good for us. But open play, pressure gets there. We have a 3rd and 10 look here. Mug up Cooper. He backs away on the motion And then we bring Quay again. Quay gets through. And this has kind of been the name of the game, really. I think that's Trey McBride. Gets open. I mean, that's a tight end running away from your nickel. Bullard's got outside leverage. These are always interesting because, this relationship here, you're playing your coverage, and sometimes they call it, your winning alignment. You get into a winning alignment. And with these scenarios, what you'd see more often than not out of this with a tight end there is some sort of underneath crosser. But ends up making a good play. And these are the throws and catches that even under pressure, we'll see pressure from this angle with Quay running through 37 here. Great. I mean, that's such a good pass rush rep from Quay Walker. Bull with the arm over. Just a great job. But again, better throw and catch. 3rd and 8 play. Motion to trips or move to trips. And this is one of those sacks where if you're the left tackle, you've kind of done everything right here. You watch this from the end zone copy, and there's no reason he loses. There's a couple things you want to point out, though, and what makes him different. First of all, the angle. The angle of departure is here. I don't know why that's over on. The angle of departure is here. This is upfield. This is upfield. This is upfield more. But you just see this angle's a little bit different. And what that does is that can freeze or force that lineman to open. But more often than not, what it really does, because this is not a chop, club, rip, double swipe, rip, arm over, push, pull guy. This is a leverage, get my shoulder on your chest, work one of your hands off, get it underneath, and press into the quarterback guy. And he does that as well as, that specific thing he does as well as everybody. So you watch the rep, and he's 99% of the time you've lost that rep. Like he should have lost this rep. But right there, somehow he gets underneath, gets his feet to stop moving. And, I don't know. This is just uncanny that he gets off this. You look at the other side, and of course he's got to work out. Talking about Rashawn Garoff, 84. But see, he just immediately gives up that chest because maybe it's just because of that tight end. But he's trying to work that hand. You see just how long it takes him versus it almost looked like a goddamn magic trick over here. Like there's no reason he should be. We were talking about the tackle. Like there's no reason this tackle should lose this rep. He's got to be going like, God damn it, I didn't sign up for this. I mean, he's won this rep. Now he could be in a better body position. Shoulders are over the toes a little bit and everything. But usually when you get one of those hands inside, you feel pretty good about yourself, and it doesn't matter with this guy sometimes just because of the leverage and speed he plays with. Motion out to quads look, and then throw the slant on the other side. Honestly, I don't know if this is a catch or not, but what a hell of a job by Nixon. Get a turnover, needed it. Almost got his head torn off there. Under center with 12. Corey Woon makes a great play. Show this from the end zone. Sometimes it's little things. He just quick arm over inside. You look at plays like this, and like the center just trying to block back. How they trying to work this play with the backside handoff, but what a play by Wooten. Tackle for loss. Sometimes it's just make it look easy. I think those guys are good for one of those a game too. It just feels like, maybe an undersized interior defensive line, but they do some really good things. Now we talk about, a lot of guys are on Nate Hobbs' ass, and I mean, listen, look at this route. Okay, first of all, under center play action, so you got the double move. People are getting on him about that. I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, this is a first-round draft pick, one of the better athletes in that draft. He hasn't had the explosive career so far, but I mean, he's getting up to speed. We talked about this on the pregame show. I mean, he's smooth. He's 6'3", 220, 225. Just he's one of those. There's better humans in the league. Just part of the deal. There you go, 6'0" lineman. And Parsons just creating absolute havoc. I thought this is one of the best plays of the game. This hip drop is legit. It's a legit call. But you see the angle that Parsons is attacking at, and this is the reason you do it. If they overset or if they set it all towards the sideline, you just go underneath. Hernandez just doesn't have time to react. Happens too fast. But then this, like, how the hell do you catch him? And then, you get the hip drop, but god damn it, that's a good play. 2nd and 15. Another trips look. Could bang out here on Parsons. Another Quay move. I mean, he's just, when they started doing this 2 years ago and just started sending him, he's just different in motion. He's obviously, I think he's having a fantastic year, but these are the things that just start standing out. These are because these show up in the stats, and I mean, come on, you're just 20's just got no goddamn chance. Look at that. 20 thinks he's opening a Christmas present, man. Look at where his arms are. I mean, Quay has just absolutely zero qualms about that guy. He's just a speed bump, nothing more. I love these plays because you don't like dropping Rashawn Gary over here. But these sim pressures where you can, because our guys inside are so good. We talked about this, I think, pregame. If you got Parsons and then you got either one of these guys is, to me, just as effective as rushing literally anybody else on this team except for Parsons. Not necessarily because they have the same skill set as, Rashawn Gary's got a better skill set, but just because who has to block them more often than not. They usually are going to end up on a back. And anytime you end on a back, just a complete mismatch. What a great job. So this is what Jacoby Brissett just did a great job of, is just anticipating throws. You think probably the way that we're playing this, you're feeling pretty confident that Evan Williams can get over there and make this play. But really perfect throw and catch. Probably takes a bad angle, misjudges it a little bit at the end. I think they do a good job running that seam to keep him honest. But, I mean, give it credit to Brissett, man. He made a lot of plays in this game. We got a 3rd and 4 here. Bringing pressure. Lining up Micah Parsons in the middle. And if you can look at this from the back end, Keyshawn Nixon kind of follows the glance route in a little bit too much. Can't get back on Trey McBride. They find the right pocket. Obviously, they saw something on film here where I think in an ideal world, Nixon keeps his width. Doesn't have to come off on that late, but the speed of Trey McBride and everything probably has something to do with that as well. 1st and 10 play, kind of nasty split under center. Got 2 tight ends into the game. Big play by Rashawn Gary. I think Wooten ends up getting the initial pressure, beating the center, steps up. And I don't know if that was going to be a backwards pass regardless, but huge play in the game, obviously. So we got a 1st and 10 play here. Look like they're going to keep 2 in for a quick block. Both tight ends, they stay in. Really a 3-man route, But look at Quay Walker here, just blow up that running back. I'll show you this from the end zone. He is just lethal when it comes to running dogs from the linebacker spot. highlight Quay here and just, appreciate. A lot of guys are sent on. A lot of guys are sent on these dog looks, but very few are bringing the kind of violence and then just doing a good job of getting edges. I mean, right there, that's just relentless work. That's just relentless work. That's fantastic. All right, we got a trips down at the bottom here, almost like a bunch look. And, you can get, the reality is Nate Hobbs is out here playing against Marvin Harrison Jr., who hasn't had the best start to his career, but let's be just blatantly honest about the kind of athlete he is and what he's capable of, what he showed in college, what he's shown in the league for the last couple of games at least. That's a big time throw and catch. And listen, you're going to get beat every once in a while by good players in these one-on-one matchups. Now, I think the commentary on this has been it's a 3rd and 14 play. And why are we playing 3rd and 14 pressed up? It's sim pressure. They just bring 4. They're trying to throw sticks here. You just look at where everybody is across the line. And you got guys sitting here, right? And you've got one guy back. You can't see him. He's just off the screen. But you're going to have these throws. Now, Nix is in a much better position. You got to, question out loud, should we be playing that tight of coverage? Do you feel like you can run with him? The answer was obviously yes. He kind of loses the hand fighting battle here right now. And that's what ends up taking, Harrison's such a strong player. I think it's just sometimes you're not used to playing with that level of physicality. Motion across into trips here. This play is unacceptable. You just busted coverage. So they got Quay walking out on the motion. And if you just do this is just, you got receiver, corner, backer, safety. So either we got to go or we got to go as we come across. This ends up in a touchdown. It's just busted coverage, nothing more. It looks like Xavier McKinney's looking for to poach the crossing route if there's going to be one. So that leads me to believe that Cooper should be staying on that. See, Quay goes out and runs vertical on 3. So yeah, I mean he's your best receiver, and we don't pick up for him. I mean these are the things you got to obviously clean up. We got a 3rd and 2 play here. Another bunch look. They go 4 to a side. Now this is a tough look, right? You got a fast 4 really. So what do I mean by fast 4? You got 1, 2, 3 up here, and then your fast 4 means it's quick out of the backfield to the flat. The problem is, so Quay's out of the game here. You're bringing McDuffie, but now you got all the way over here to cover this flat look, man. That is really, really tough. You can see already he's in a bad position. He's got to fight through 2 potential, not picks, but people are in the way. Kind of a recipe for disaster, right? Good job making the tackle, quite frankly. We got a 2nd and 6 look here in the 4th quarter. They just motion out the trips, under center play action. And we're bringing everybody. You just look at, we bring 6. We've got everybody covered up. But this isn't what we did not expect from Jacoby Brissett, is the ability to elude this pass rush. Right? You just don't think when you bring 6 like this that they're going to get home. Love what Quay does here again. Really defeats 2 blockers. Just so close to getting them. Barry, everybody great effort. But kid makes a hell of a play. Hell of a play. Motion to trips. Kind of a bunch look up there. They got gun offset to the right. Fast in the flat again. Micah Parsley does his thing. This is just one more of those pressures. Jonah Williams, they put him in a bad spot here. If you can't throw to the running back right now, he's outmatched. He's out-humaned. I've been out-humaned before. It's a bad feeling. This is another one of those plays they're getting on Hobbs' case, but you're in quarters coverage right here. Right there. We're breaking. Should be, I think. That's what I was taught. And sometimes, he McKinney plays so deep that we can't drive on it in time. But it's not like Hobbs is sitting there in man, he's given up the inside dig because they have that person to cut it. Big play in the game. You see, you guys can't see it, but Jonah Williams is just throwing a fit right there. And then Hernandez turns around. Look at Hernandez turn around and he's like, why didn't you block him? It's like, are you kidding me, man? All right, as you can see, Quay Walker is an absolute game wrecker. He is having, that was kind of, to me, that was his all-pro moment so far this season where, there's been so much talk, and you were just even on the telecast, how much time they spend focusing on him. We're almost like, you almost feel like from a guy who likes to watch a lot of films, like, don't forget about Quay Walker. Don't forget about Evan Williams and how well he's playing and all the things that he's able to do, the impact he's making from the safety position. The reality is, when you aren't running the football at the efficiency level that you're accustomed to or expect, there's going to be problems with your offense as far as, it's not feast or famine necessarily, but it's just kind of looks a little bit janky. It's not as put together as you want. That's only going to improve with time. We've seen this with Josh Jacobs, and we've seen this with Matt LaFleur. They put them in themselves in positions to be successful. Josh Jacobs wants to be in those situations where it's one cut. Let me get one-on-one with somebody. I'll make him miss or outrun him to the outside like he did on that touchdown run. He's a phenomenal talent. He makes chicken salad out of chicken shit all the time. Imagine what happens when we get that technique right and we start moving those guys off the line of scrimmage. It's only going to get better and better. We'll be back with a preview show here in a couple of days. Much thanks to Andy Herman and the Pack a Day Podcast for putting me on, allowing me to share with a bigger audience. Guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.